Alright guys, before I get started with Impact Wrestling, look, I could make this a separate video, but I don't really need to. Because as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to this past Raw and what happened with Shayna Baszler biting the neck of Becky Lynch, I didn't really see much of Raw. You guys know I don't see it. Sometimes I turn it on just a little bit to see what's going on, and then I notice something that sucks and I just flip it off. But when I heard that Shayna bit her neck, I had to check. At least you can see this image of her biting the back of her neck in my face. I'm just... Look, I'm sure Paul Heyman came up with this idea. And I'm sure Vince was saying, this is good shit. He had to. Do I believe this is good television? It's better than what we normally get. Do I believe it's going to make Raw better? No. And I know people right now are saying Raw's really looking good. 3 weeks we've been getting a good show. Give me 3 months. And if you think Raw is good in 3 months, I may start doing reviews of it. I may just start doing reviews. 3 episodes mean zip in my book. Because 3 episodes is the same thing we've been getting for over 8 years. They say it's going to change. They change. Within 3 episodes, they turn to something stupid. Then they change again. And we get the same situation. 3, maybe 4 episodes of Raw, or SmackDown for that matter, are great. And then it looks like garbage. So wait 3 months. Then you tell me, hey Zane, the show is really good now. We want you to do reviews. Then I'll do a review. Until then, I still see it as a 0. Now, Impact, 11 days from Sacrifice. And I gotta say this, I'm angry. I'm angry. You can see the title, but I'm angry. Let's go through the show. What did we get in the first part of the show? Eddy versus Elgin. Best of 5. This is match 2. Now, they got good chemistry. I like the match. Whatever shots I took, maybe 1 or 2 shots, you've already seen it. Here's the thing. What happens after the best of 5 is over? Look, Eddy has the Call Your Shot Cup. What does that mean? It's supposed to mean he gets a shot at the title, if I understand correctly. He went up against Elgin. He had his chance to try and take the cup from Eddie Edwards. He failed. Now we got this best of 5. What does it mean? Yes, we got great wrestling from 2 really good wrestlers. But in the end, it doesn't mean anything if the Call Your Shot Cup is not up for grabs again. This is the truth. The Call Your Shot Cup has to be put up for grabs again. Because other than that, this is filler. Good filler. Good wrestling. And in the end, if you saw most of it, Elgin was pounding the hell out of Eddy until Eddy turned it around to a certain extent and then lost the match again. The first time he passed out, this time he got pretty much beat in the middle of the ring. Great match. 2 on Elgin, nothing for Eddy. But still, what does this give us? Yes, it gives us great wrestling, but it's filler. I don't want to see filler for Elgin, and I don't want to see filler for Eddy. This should be about something you build up going for Tessa. It's not going to be for Ace Austin, unless you're going to have the North be the one that Elgin and Eddy are going to go up against. It's going to be Tessa. So I want to see them build this for Tessa, not say, well, we're considering getting the championship. I'm going for the champion. You should say Tessa. It'll make sense when you use her actual name instead of making it so vague. That's just me. You guys tell me below. You got Dhaka versus Madman Fulton. Honestly, I didn't really care that much about the match. Honestly. It's not that it was a bad match. I just didn't care about it because it really felt like filler. Because what does this mean for Dhaka? Is he now going up against OVE because of what happened with Dr. Wagner Jr.? Or is this just because they wanted to have a match with a guy who used to be in AAA versus a guy who's in Impact? That's just how it feels. Now, Dhaka did a good job. He tried to make it work, and let's be honest, Madman Fulton, he's a big brawler. He's not really that great in wrestling, particularly once he tries to do power. The guy needs to get in a little more better shape. He should have been able to pick up Dhaka pretty easily. He was struggling in certain cases. He needs a little more strength. In the end, what do we get? We got Jake and Dave coming out trying to save Fulton, and does. And Fulton wins. But what does he gain? What does Dhaka gain? I just don't see anything good. It's just me. Okay, Moose gets himself a massage from a masseuse. And then Moose gets a massage from a rhino. It has to be really rough with those horns. In the end, you see Moose get his butt kicked by Rhino, covering up his junk, wearing a red trunks or underwear. But why are you covering up? Are you worrying about Twitch again? But in the end, we're supposed to have a match between Moose and Rhino at the pay-per-view. But what is this match going to give us? Anything different? I'm wondering. You guys tell me if it's anything different, because as far as I know, it's just going to be another match. And I really think it needs something special. It needs a stip. I'm not saying every match is sacrifice. If that is, I think it's sacrifice for the pay-per-view. It should be. It should mean something. It doesn't have to always have a stipulation, but sometimes you need one if you had a long-term feud like this one. I'm just saying. Alright, we got Falaba versus Ethan Page. The ego himself. And it exactly what I thought it was. Why? I'm not bashing Falaba. I'm not bashing TJP. I'm not bashing Page or Alexander. But you could have built this better than this. This is one of the things I could never stand about Impact. They never built up their stories before they go into the pay-per-view. Yes, they give great wrestling, but the pay-per-views suck when it comes to stories. And when it comes to Falaba and TJ Perkins, I'm being honest here. They've done nothing with them. I understand TJP wasn't there. He finally came back. And instead of trying to build up something between TJ Perkins, Falaba, and the North, they show this. And now they give them a match as I expected. And I find it sad. They could have done something about their Filipino heritage. They could have shown Falaba and TJP talking about their Filipino heritage, wearing Filipino clothes, or talking in Filipino, or having Filipino food, something to bond them together. Not just as wrestlers and hearing Josh Matthews or Don Callis talking about it. They do it themselves. Half of it's got to come from Don and Josh. The other half got to come from Falaba and TJP. And I just don't feel it. So this just feels like a thrown together match, which I don't know if it's going to mean anything. Particularly, I don't believe Falaba and TJP are going to win it. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I would like to see them win it, but I really hope they show them personality. Please. Next, Sheera versus Willie Mack, and it gets no contest because Raju interferes in the match. But this isn't about Raju coming into the match and interfering with it, or Gama telling him to do it, or grabbing at Willie Mack's legs. This was about trying to get Swinger and Willie Mack together and the people be invested in it. They're in my face. You got the odd couple of Willie Mack and Johnny Swinger. You're trying to set up Johnny Swinger with the Willie Mack. And instead of you letting Johnny Swinger be a swinger and not come out in his ring attire every single time, or Willie Mack being in his own clothes, you could have set this up and tried to get Willie to work, to Swinger to work. And that's if if Rick Swann was available, if he was injured or not. You could have set this up with Rick Swann kind of feeling really bad that he's sitting around with Willie Mack, and Willie's not really wrestling much, and you see Swinger really interested in him, and you try to set it up, and it's Willie being convinced to work with Swinger by Rick Swann himself until he recovers. I really wish they had done that, and they did not do that. So they're trying their hardest to make this mean something, and I'm not getting it. Willie Mack is not interested in this, and eventually by the pay-per-view, I'm guessing they're going to be thrown together, and then Willie might do it, maybe with Rick Swann showing up eventually saying, just work with him, Willie. I don't know. I just wish they had built this a little better than what we've been getting. This is just me. Now, we had an interview with the Gabby, dealing with the lovely, I can't believe I'm saying that, the lovely World Heavyweight Champion Tessa Blanchard. They're trying to put over the match that's going to happen between her and Ace Austin. Where is Sami Callihan? Where, guys? Tell me. Where's Sami? Now, maybe he's on the Fight Network and they don't show him much on these shows, but isn't it more important to be seeing Sami at least some type of instance? You see Sami's face flash on the screen or something to show that he's still a presence in Tessa Blanchard's mind? Nope. We get this. And this feels like filler. And it shouldn't feel like filler having an Ace Austin dealing with a Tessa Blanchard. I don't want Ace Austin to feel like filler. And then she's trying to put over this match by saying Ace has messed with Eddy, messed with his wife, messed with Trey's mom, messed with Trey, messed with whoever he can to get what he wants. And then he comes out messing with Tessa, who says, I don't need to worry about what my games are because I can handle it. And then he's saying, oh, I like girls that have daddy problems. And then she starts whacking at him. And that's in my face. I believe I got the shot. But instead of building it up properly, it just... Dude, there should be a little more there. You know what could have worked? Dhaka. Instead of her being told about the daddy problems, wouldn't it have been better to have Ace Austin mess with Dhaka instead of OVE? Because it's obvious that she's with Dhaka. There's no problem saying she's with Dhaka. And you could have done it with that. That she gets truly pissed that her man is being bothered by Ace Austin. And she's telling Dhaka, hey, don't let nobody say we ain't perfect together and we ain't good together. You are the best wrestler next to myself in the men's division. Don't let nobody say that you're bad. That you have to take second fiddle to anyone. You don't take it from me, and I want you taken from anybody. And then you can actually set up Dhaka trying to go into a feud with Ace Austin and try and get the X Division title. Is it that hard? I don't know. This is just me. You guys tell me below. What else do we have here? I will say one thing about the Sheera versus Willie Mack. Sheera almost fell off the I don't have the shot, but Sheera was trying to get onto the ring skirt and he almost fell. He lost his balance a little bit. That didn't look so good. Now, we got a match that should have been a main event on its own. That is RVD versus Joey Ryan. Why wouldn't you make this a really good feud and leave it for the pay-per-view, showing that Joey Ryan's messing with Katie Forbes? Why not? Why not set that up? Why not set up that Katie is being bothered by Joey Ryan, or she's going to Joey saying, your D ain't that good. And he says, oh yeah, honey, look down here. And she go, damn. That would be something you can build into a pay-per-view. You don't have to be over-sexualized. It won't mess with Twitch. And it'll look good. But we get this match now. And Joey just gets destroyed by RVD. He does not take the dick flip. He basically resists it. And then he destroys Joey within a few minutes. But I will say that Katie's ass looks good, and it's in my face. I might even do a zoom in on her butt. But even if I don't, she looked good. But then this didn't mean much. Why couldn't they build this? What's the problem? It's because Gail Kim doesn't like to see a woman over-sexualized, please. You can do that with men, you can do it with women. It's wrestling. Have both sexes over-sexualized. What are you doing with Joey Ryan? You're letting her wiggle her ass in the ring, and that's Katie. Why not? Why not set this up at the pay-per-view? Or any pay-per-view for that matter. Ugh. Okay. Final match of the night. That infuriated me. Grace versus Valkyrie. A match that should mean something, but it felt empty. She won, but it felt empty. For almost a year now. Almost a year, or nearly a year, or a year. You've had Jordynne Grace working her way up through the ranks. She went up against Tessa Blanchard, could not beat her to try and get the title. You had to go up against Taya multiple times, could not get the freaking title. Now, you finally let her have the title, but at Mexico City, and not at a pay-per-view. Was the match good? It wasn't bad. I didn't have a problem with it. Seeing Johnny Bravo do his business and mess with a Jordynne Grace and make sure she doesn't have an advantage. Then the ref himself acting like he's a complete stupid idiot and letting so much go. When you're going like, what the hell is going on here? Is he a lucha wrestler? Or is he an impact a lucha ref? Or an impact ref? Which one is he doing? Because usually lucha libre refs act like that. Not impact refs. A lot of times they don't act that ridiculously dumb or that much to let leeway. And then you hear Don Cullis. And then you hear the Josh Matthews saying he's letting him have really a lot of leeway. They're letting a lot of leeway go with Jordynne Grace. A lot of leeway go with Taya Valkyrie. Look, guys. I love me Taya. I've said it myself. That woman, from what I understand, is an extremely sweet woman. Yeah, I'm about 5'8.5" with the messed up leg I have. I'm a little taller than I should be. I should be about 5'8". But due to the fact of my condition, I actually have a little bit of height on my left side. It's hard to explain about synovial condymatosis. But it's happened. But this is Taya. This is me. I promise you I would treat her well. I would love her to death. But she be so damn tall. But I love her to death. She's a great wrestler. She talks well. She has good psychology in the ring. She had great pair of boobs. But I've known for a while she needed to drop the title. She needed it. And the best person to drop it was Jordynne Grace. But not here. And definitely not at an Impact Wrestling taping at Mexico City. And I'm not against Mexico City. If this was a pay-per-view at Mexico City, and this was a pay-per-view, I'd be fine with it. Because it would be a pay-per-view. But no. This was an ordinary taping of Impact. And it wasn't necessary. We're only 11 days before Sacrifice. We're on the 11th. It's on the 22nd. It's 11 days, guys. Or is it 12? No, it's 11. It's 11 days. They could have done it, guys. They could have waited 11 days, forgo the tapings, and just done it. There wouldn't have been a problem. But with this, it feels empty, and it upsets me for Jordynne Grace that she finally wins a title, but at a Impact taping in Mexico City, where the payout should be a lot more. It should mean a lot more for people. It should be a bigger payout with a pay-per-view, and it should mean something for her. Mind you, I'm sure she's happy, but for me personally, I'm not. And then for Taya Valkyrie, who's held the title for more than a year, and it should mean something. She should get a bigger payout. It should mean something at a pay-per-view, and then afterward, it shouldn't mean that, well, she doesn't have the title now. So what now? I feel like they lost an opportunity here, particularly if I'm understanding what I'm feeling. If Taya doesn't get a rematch to get the Knockouts title, that eventually Taya will be going up against Tessa for the world title. I know you can't believe what I just said. I'm going to say it again. Taya may go after the world title now. Yes, they're going to wait. They'll wait after Ace Austin. They'll wait after Sami Callihan. It could be maybe June or July before they even begin to try and build it. It could even go into Bound for Glory when they try it. Because there's no guarantee that Tessa's going to drop that title too soon. I don't expect her to drop it within another month. I do believe she's going to keep it well into the end of the year. Now, it doesn't mean I like it or dislike it. I just believe that's where they're going with this. And I do believe if this is not about Taya trying to regain the title, this is about Taya eventually going after the world's heavyweight championship that is for the men. That's the way it looks. That's the way it feels with the possibility. Now, I'm not going to say it's good or not. I'm just leaving it as it is because it's still a question that's going there. But I just wish they had done this at the pay-per-view. That could have meant something for Taya, for Tessa. Even Johnny Bravo deserves a payout. But this is just me. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.